Okay, let me get this palette ready, and today I'm gonna paint a wave that I recently sold. I'm gonna try to recreate it. Okay. So this is my palette for tonight. I'm going to paint a wave that I recently sold, and I want to try to recreate it. It's this wave. I just in Photoshop I added like a stone for the foreground, so it looks a little more busy in there. And I'm gonna be using this this artist canvas. It's a gallery stretched canvas. What I like about this canvas the most is that this canvas is already primed. It's a gallery stretch canvas, so it's thick. And then in the back, it's nice and deep. And then when the painting is done, you can just place it on the surface and it can stand. Or what I also do is I can attach the wire to the back and just, people can hang it like this. It looks like a little brick, but I like it. So I'm gonna remove the palette off the side. And I'm gonna start with a sketch. I'm gonna keep paper towels next to me. And also Okay. Can I hear myself? Yes, I can. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay, so this is the wave. And what I'm gonna do is first I'm going to sketch that so it looks decently positioned on my canvas. Also, I'm using just a regular linseed oil. This is the jar. I just dip my brush in there. I don't use any solvents or anything like that, so I just basically, that's where I'll be dipping. I'll move it to the side so I don't spill it. All right, so this wave I already painted, as I mentioned. I'm gonna just recreate it on this little 5x7 canvas, and before I do so, I'm gonna just mark the placement on my canvas. And what I like about this wave is that, oops, I have to probably make the iPad not to shut off somehow. Yeah, so what I like about that wave is that display, I like that it's actually not like in the middle. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place it a little higher up here, and then here I photoshopped like a rock, because there's gonna be just a catch between two objects in there, so you can kind of, I don't know, for making it kind of a little more complicated scene, so it doesn't look as too simple. All right, let's see if I can make it. I forgot where that goes. Oh well. Anyways, I'll just be popping it back on. All right. So, first and foremost, I don't want to go like, so here's my middle. I don't want to be in the middle. I want the wave to be starting higher, so the horizon line will go to our third of the canvas. I'm trying to think if I can. Okay, I'm gonna just do it like this. Okay, let's see if I start the horizon up here. All right, and then the wave placement gonna have to be, okay, like right here. The curve is gonna go down. So this is the foam, and then it's gonna go a little up. All right, so there's another curl right here. All right, so right here is gonna be my darkest area. Just marking it. I'm gonna mix the color for the wave that I'll use. I mix, basically, to paint water, I mix 3 colors. It is blue, red, and yellow, and I shift them. So meaning like I shift tones darker or lighter. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's too dark. Let's try again. It should be a little more green. That's what I want. That's better, but not as. I'm gonna just wipe it off because see, it was like too purple. I think the composition, like beginning of the composition, is a number one thing. So I always spend some time. Yeah, that's better because I want it to be like greenish, just like on the picture. Actually, let me move the picture closer so everybody can see that. Okay, So this is my darkest area, and then under the curl too. So there's going to be going up. There's going to be going up in here, curling it down up here, and then we're going to move it to the side. So it's still possible that I will be able to change the composition when I'm painting, because sometimes it not always like works as expected. Sometimes I change things up just to have it just to have it look decent, kind of. I don't know if it makes sense, but like, all right, I'm gonna start sketching the wave up here. Yeah, so it's like there's no guarantee I'll keep it as is. So all right, so this is the curve, and this is gonna be my foaming scenario over there. All right, I'm gonna just mark it like this. I know it looks like a mess for now, but hey, all paintings look awful at first. All right, and then so for the upper part, I've used a shift of colors, and I think this is where I'm gonna start. So the sun is kind of like to the, so here's our center. It's kind of like a little to the left. So in this scenario, I'm going to shift it even more over here. Just don't want to use the same brush. I'm going to change it up, and I want to make it clean. So I'm going to start it with a clean brush. Let me just get that. I'll take a couple brushes to keep next to me, and then what I did use for the wave I painted, I used this purple color. It's already pre-mixed. I know it's got like a little cheater color. I usually mix it all myself, but this is what worked for me last time when I painted for the first time, so I'm gonna just squeeze that on my palette. Also, this pink that's on it, it was also a pre-mixed color, but anybody can mix it really easy. This is a radiant red, but it can be mixed with just, I think it's like a white and red. Yeah, so this pink I used in the whole painting. I just gradually shifted the values, which means I just made it either darker or more intense, but I'm gonna keep it on my palette. Also, for the outside, what I did was I actually used a little bit of ultramarine blue, which I do have on my palette already. So I think that's where I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start shifting sun from the middle, and I'm gonna start with like a brightest. I should probably move my palette just a bit closer so you could see it just slightly. But yeah, I'm gonna just start with the lightest point, which is gonna be right here. Okay, let's poke a little dot in there, like pretend it's a sun. Okay. All right, we don't need this. What is this? Okay. So, little sun. Then we have a yellow going around, which is like a glow. So I'm going to just use a glowing, and then we can just always go back and reassure there is a bright spot where we want this to be, like in the center. I can always just like take my palette knife and just put a dot in there. All right, so let's go and all right, I'm using just a mix of white and yellow. I don't want it to be too yellowish. And honestly, in my paintings, I always try to use like more complicated colors than just like plain yellow or plain red or plain orange, whatever. I always try to make them look little more pronounced, I should say. All right, now I'm going to shift it to, I'll add red to it. So I'll shift it to like orangey color, because we see some orange in there. So just a little bit like this. Don't worry, it's going to look scary at first. It's going to look awful, but it's going to end up looking good if you try multiple times and work hard. And then I can retouch the colors again, so I can go back to yellow that I used, and just like, you know, what I also can do is like I take my finger and literally I just rub it. There we go. I always wear gloves, although I don't like working gloves, but for safety purposes. All right, then we're moving into pink that I showed you. So that I'm applying, I'm diluting it a little bit with oil. So that I'm applying around this orange area. Okay. Also just like this, you can just pile it up kind of, and see it kind of goes to the sides. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go to the side. I also want to keep my horizon line clear so I kind of see where I'm working. And then there goes that purple. All right, there's that purple. I'm using a little bit of linseed oil to dilute the paint a little more, so it looks nice and oh, and then I forgot to mention, so when I'm done, actually when I'm like moving to the side of the painting, I actually do take the painting and I, you know, turn it so I can actually paint the sides too. So the sides of the painting are also painted. So on the sides, I see it gets a little bit darker, but before I go in there, again, my finger, wiping in between so it doesn't get muddy, because again, this is oil paint and it's very easy to go muddy if you blend, you know, too many colors together. If we don't need that, we don't need this in the sky. So we're just being very gentle, just moving it aside. See, even though like right here I moved like some purple, but that's okay. That's all right, it's not a big deal. Just wiping my finger. And see, it's already creating a little glow over there. All right, over here too, I just want to make sure also, see, I picked up some of that green I sketched where I positioned my wave, but that's okay too. Okay, so I'm going to just leave it like this for now. And now I'm going to use a different brush. Actually, a new brush, clean brush. So I can use... before I use any of my new brushes, I dip it into an oil so it gets wet. Oops. There we go. And then I take ultramarine blue and I mix it with that purple we used over here. And I make it lighter because the sky is not dark at all, like at all dark. And I'm just testing it here. Is it too dark? Yeah, probably. So I'm mixing more of that purple and white in there, okay? So in this case, what I'm going to do is I actually will go up here because I told you before, I'm going to just paint the whole thing, right? And to be able to do so, I got to start it up there too, so I don't have to go back and mix colors again when I'm done. So I'm starting it, doing it just like that. So the painting is, when it's done, it can like either, you know, be hang with attaching wire to the back, or it can stand actually on a surface. So, but to be able to do that, I like when the sides of it are covered. So I try not to put it aside. I always try to make it happen before I'm done. All right, so I'm just spreading the paint. I'm taking the ultramarine and that purple I showed you, radiant purple. All right, and then okay, and then also I'll move to the side right here. If you have any questions, please feel free to message. I see my screen on my phone, so I actually see my screen, and I would love to chat because I feel like so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. All right, so this is it. This is so I'm adding a little bit of pink on the edge. As we could see, it's gradually shifting down, and it's gradually moving down there. And see, we getting this like already like a nice smooth transition. Okay, all right, so I'm also shifting it here. Ooh, see, I got that green over there, but that's okay because we're gonna still have that wave. So I'm shifting it to the side. I'm blending it with the pink, so it looks nicer when it's spread. And I'm gonna just use my finger. Okay, it's like that glow in there. All right, and then I'm just using it here, and then on this side. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna do that purplish pink over here, and then I'm moving that to the horizon. All right, and then I'm moving from the other side to a horizon line. Perfect. All right, let me just grab a fresh paper towel. Okay, so I like to just squeeze the paint out of the brush and use it again, like to load another shade that I'm using at this point, like this purple. All right, another thing I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna actually what I'm gonna do is I'll pull my picture that I actually painted before, and I want to see what I did on horizon because I don't remember what was in there. Was it darker? Was it lighter? So, but actually, let me just keep going for now. Oops, see, I got that purple in there, but that's okay. Make sure the finger is clean before blending it. All right, so far what I see is like I'm gonna place a little bit of darker color on the horizon because this is where ocean starts. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend that color a little bit down so we could see at least like a part of the ocean, because see how on the reference picture we do see a little part, and I didn't actually notice it here. So to be able to change that, I am going to, so this is where the curl's gonna be. I'm trying to plan things ahead. And this is where it's raised up. Yeah, so there we're gonna show ocean, and over here. So with that being said, I'm gonna wipe this down. It's okay, it's not a big deal. It's still in the stage of sketching. It's not just we can still change everything. So yeah, I'm gonna just shift it down, because what I was afraid about is actually, positioning a wave in the middle of the painting, which is a wrong composition build. But when I show mistakes like this, it's easy to fix, because it's good to know that we need more space kind of to show. All right, so let's fix that. It's okay. Sometimes it's kind of cool to work on small paintings like this, but sometimes it's so stressful because they're so tiny. But no, I'm going to retouch things over here to keep it There we go. I like it better. All right, and then I'm gonna also see how that sun is lit up there. So that's exactly how we're gonna keep it. We're not gonna do much because I like how it's like setting down behind the horizon. And then I'm gonna just touch up that yellow in there so I can blend it with my finger. There we go. All right, wiping my finger again and circle motions. I'm just like shifting the color across. Same over here. And so, okay, yeah, that works. Okay, so with that being said, we are going to touch up that horizon too. Okay, I'm gonna do that purple that I showed you. So I'm gonna like shift it down. There we go. All right, so now to be able to make the horizon straight, what I usually do, it's like some people measure it with the brush, like go from the corner and then touch where it starts, and then do the same thing on the opposite side. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. All right, so okay, perfect. And then in this case scenario, it's not gonna matter much because the whole concentration's gonna be on the wave, but still we don't want our horizon to be crooked or weird. All right. Okay, now we're gonna show that ocean that I told about. So I'm gonna show just a little bit. So when the sky is shining like this, it's gonna basically reflect the sky in the waters. So I'm taking purple and ultramarine blue and I'm just spreading it across for now. Okay, I'm gonna just go like this. I'm not looking at the reference picture because we cannot rely just on the reference picture, to be honest with you, because references are like alive pictures, and when we're painting objects, we use certain colors and certain mixes to show the live atmosphere. But it's not like we copy it just like that. We add even more details to make it look realistic. So in this case, we know the water is kind of like bluish green because that's what we see over here. Let me just blend it nicer over here. Oops, if I go off the camera, I apologize. Okay, so when we paint the sky, we are still going to see reflection in the water. So what I mean by that is we're going to reflect colors of the sky in the water. And then we're also going to show the water's depth. Depth is the further we look, the deeper the waters are. But we cannot show this green color over there because, again, the sky is reflecting in the water. I'm going to just blend it right here a little bit. Okay, perfect. Or sometimes people use actually a blending brushes for that, but it's okay. I'm used to doing that with my finger. Because sometimes blending brush doesn't do as good of a job, but it's okay. I'm gonna leave it like that. If I'm not happy, I'll come back to it. That's not the main focus. So when I said that, like reflection on this on the water, what I meant by that was basically we see the pink in the water, so we're gonna also see the purple, spreading it there across, and then I'm gonna take that purple and we're gonna spread that across. Reflection, and also there's some waves in the back going on, as we could see. That wave we're gonna show a little bit, not too much, and I'm gonna go back to my dirty green brush, and I'm gonna just just do the lines there that we see that there's a water movement in the back. Okay, just like that. And also I'm gonna take my other brush and I'll show some of the oranges in there, but I'm not gonna do details right now. We're gonna come back to it later. So in this area, I'm gonna mark it just for myself so I could see where the curl will be, another curl here. So I'm just marking that this is gonna be a lot of sky reflection there, pink, but I'll come back to it later to add more. So for now, I wanna shape my wave. I'm gonna go back to my first brush. I'm gonna dip it in the oil just to get it clean again. All right, so let's move that a little further. So I'm gonna move it to the bottom. All right. And in this case, while I have this color premix, I'm gonna go to the side and just kind of like scribble there, because I'm gonna place foam there, and I'm not always using going according to the reference picture. I'm going according to my feeling, like how I feel I should position it. And in this case, so I'm gonna move this foam that I have here. I'm gonna already start sketching it over here, and I'm gonna take some weird color mixed with white. I'm gonna weird. I shouldn't say weird. Well, it is kind of weird because it's gonna, it's gonna be muddy looking because it's kind of like our sand. Let's pretend there's a sand. All right, we're not gonna go too much with it because I don't like that it's too much of it there. I'm gonna add this red in there and muddy color from the waters, and so yeah, just like that. I'm gonna spread it across. Right, I just want to cover the canvas so I already know what's going on it, so I have a picture planned. All right, so this side too. Okay, all right, so in this case scenario, now I'm gonna start painting actual wave, and I'm gonna think, let me pre-mix these colors that I used actually. So it was blue, red, and yellow. And I kind of lean it towards more like a greenish combination. So, and I'm gonna add white to that. Sorry you don't see my palette, but it's my first time doing stream. Next time I'm gonna try to figure out how to keep the iPad on and do the live stream and also show you the palette, so I'll figure it out. So, okay, this is my darkest. This is where the wave is gonna crush. I'm showing the direction where it's gonna go. All right, it's gonna go up here, and then here it's gonna raise up to here, and then there's gonna be a curl over here. All right, yeah, I'm gonna just, so it's gonna go up. right here in this area, it's going to be a little bit more yellow because it's going to be lit by the sun. So the water's going to show through. So I added just a tiny bit more yellow in there. Okay, now this curl is over here. Let's keep on going. All right, the curl, and then there's like a space and then another curl. Okay, so I'm gonna do another curl. And then a bunch of foam going on over there. So I'm gonna just dab, and then I'll place the foam later. Okay, so what I've learned with waves is this contrast between dark and light matters the most. So let me explain you what I mean by this. What I mean by this is when you paint a wave, you cannot leave it just hold on, I'm trying to match the color. Yeah, that's a bit too blue. You cannot leave the wave like this. It has to be a contrast of colors. So what I mean is that when I'm going to start doing the foam, under the foam we have to show the shadow, we have to show the depth of the wave, which is like the darkest part of it, and then the contrast with the foam should be visible. And for that purpose, I actually use my color shifter brushes. I'll show you them later when I get there. So far, I'm just trying to place the darker color. Actually, I'm doing live stream today for the first time. It's actually pretty hard to talk and paint. I'm not gonna lie, but it's okay. I hope I make sense. All right, and here's the depth. Okay. Just bringing that to our foam that we're gonna create later. So it looks, all right. Whoops. So I'm wiping the brush a little bit, and then I'll go to the side. I'm gonna just scribble there because I'm gonna just do the foam most likely. And then this wave kind of like crashes in here. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. And then we actually didn't show this over here. So let's see actually if I'm gonna keep it or not, because in my previous wave I did not keep it. Okay, and let me just go, there's gonna be just a bunch of foam in there. So I'm just scribbling for now. Just scribbling and shifting it down. All right, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna keep moving. I'm not gonna just stay up there because I don't like staying in the same place. So here I decided to add a rock. I'm gonna use same color I used for my water, and I'm gonna kind of place, this rock over here, right? And then like a one more over here. I like that. Okay. So, and then now we have to create this wet sand look. And how is that done is like it's going to reflect a lot of the sky too. So with that being said, I am going to place some of my sky color, but it's kind of like it's muddy because it's on the sand, on the wet sand. So I am going to mix it with my green, which is my like watercolor. I know it doesn't make any sense, but let me, and make it like add a little more red to it so it looks purple. Okay, so see that kind of matches it nicely, but it's like muddy purple. That's exactly what we need over here for this area to cover it up. And then I'm gonna add my pink and my purple and my orange in there. But for now, we need something muddy, something that will make it look like it's wet. and wet with water. So I'm even like adding that color, and yeah, it's like this, you just have to think what it looks like that in real life, you know, what it looks like in real life. It's a reflection of a sky combined with the reflection from the sand, that glow and the color of the sand. So, all right, I'm just doing that on the side. Okay, I'm gonna just turn. At this point, I have to be careful because the gloves will get dirty really easy because I'm spreading it across. I'm not gonna do the bottom for now. I'm gonna do it at the end when I'm done. So I'm gonna make sure. All right, I'm mixing that more of that color. All right, and then I'm making it kind of like testing it out. Okay, purplish. Okay, I'm gonna just stop right there, and then I'll turn to the side. I'm basically like wiping my brush off, and then when we add details, we'll add more. Okay. There we go. All right, that's it for now. All right, I'm gonna make sure actually it's dark enough. Let me just open the picture. Yeah, it's gonna be, in oil we paint from dark to light. And then there's gonna be a foam. Just sketching that. So it's gonna be moving down to the rocks. Just placing objects where they belong. Perfect. All right, why I left this area blank? Because, first of all, we have to make our rocks look like they're standing on the surface. So they're going to have shadow. And the shadow will be cool shadow, which is like a dark purple. On the wet sand. There we go. I'm wiping my brush off. So now I'm going to place, we have this like over here like a green spot. It's like a water. I'm sorry, a wave shadow on the sand. So I'm just showing that. And the shadows, remember, they're always darker on the surface than okay. Now I'm gonna take my other light pink purple brush and I'm gonna start placing that pink. All right, I'm gonna mix that yellow. I got a dirty yellow. I have to change it. All right, I got some of this. Yep, that's what I'm gonna apply first. So to avoid muddiness, I'm not blending much. I'm gonna just do it right here. Okay, and then a bunch of that pink will come too. Okay, a bunch of that pink. And all right, and then some of the purple, of course. I'm gonna show that because that's reflection from the sky too. On the sand, it's gonna be a bit darker, so I'm gonna add blue to it. Kind of moving it across how I feel about it. It's not like something you must do in a certain position placement, but whoops, go. But I'm just doing it so I can kind of reflect it from top to bottom. All right. All right. And then over here, I'm thinking what I'm gonna do over there. I'm gonna make that pink even more bright by adding my alizarin crimson in there. Yes, because that's too light. We cannot have it this light. It has to be, as I said, reflection has to be brighter, darker. So I'm adding alizarin crimson, ultramarine to the mixture, and I'm making it like this for now. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my finger, I'm gonna blend that all, and then after I'm done doing the wave, I'll come back to it, and then we're gonna do details. Okay, perfect. Rocks will still have some details as well, so it's not a big deal for now. I'm just covering the canvas at this point, so it looks... All right, so to the foam, what I was gonna do is I was gonna add shadow to the foam, so we see where it's coming to. Okay, perfect. All right, I like it so far. All right, and then also, perfect. All right, let me grab my color shifter brushes, and I'll show you what they are, what I'm talking about, because they are different kinds. So color shifter brushes are these guys. So they're basically silicone brushes, and they just move color all around. Okay, so for now, let's go back to the wave. Okay, so now we can add some lightness to it. All right, and I'm gonna start with like a lighter color of this. All right, so here we have a bunch of foam kind of splashing. I'm not doing like white because there's no white in the nature, just like black. There's no black in the nature. Black can be made, and there's no white for foam. Foam is either lit up by the sky, by the sun, and color of the water. So we're not gonna paint it white. All right, so I'm just curling it here, and here we're gonna have more massiveness of it, so it's kind of like crashing down. All right, perfect. And now also we have to show that this is curling down. Okay. Also, okay, this one's up there. And then we have, let me just double check. I don't need the reference at this point. I'm just going with the flow, but I just want to make sure it looks decent. Okay. It's kind of weird over there. Okay, let me use my brush and add. I'm thinking a little yellow in there. Yep. Just like that. Okay. Oops, I got into blue. Make sure you don't do that. Make sure you don't get yourself into another color that you don't need. All right, this one. Curling. Whoops. Too light. Too light. We don't want that. Okay. Yep. That's much better. And then over here, we're going to have a little bit of a foam going on. So I'm just placing it there. I don't need reference picture for now, so it's okay. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. So also, I'm trying to think like what I'm gonna do in this area because it's kind of like weird, but it's okay. I'll come back to it later. All right. That. Let's move further and place another part of foam in there. So, yeah, it's going to be coming down here with a little gap. And then this will have foam as well, maybe like driplets down there. Perfect. And also, like this will be going on here with just a bunch of splash and that foam goodness. We're gonna just play as we go. We're not gonna. There we go. All right, I think I need to add more of this in there just to show the shadows, the underneath the wave. Mixing my color for the water again. If you're watching me, can you please let me know where you're from so I know where my viewers are watching me and what time it is right now, because this is my first live and I usually plan on doing more in the evening when my kids go to sleep, so I can spend some time here, and then so I'll know what time to go in the future. Yeah, just like write me a comment what would be best, where you live, so I kind of know for the future. Please, if you don't mind, that would be great. So I plan accordingly, because today I just decided to give it a try and I didn't know how to go live at first. I had to go on YouTube and learn how to do that. All right, so more of the dark, actually going more. I'm trying to mix that color so it looks deeper. There we go. It's not that light. Look at my finger. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. Alrighty, and then over there, a little more. Yeah, because I want to, for the future, I would like to do this sometime, once a week maybe, and plan reference pictures with you, and maybe there's something you want to learn, there's something I will show how to paint and stuff like that. So I'm very, very new to this, so your support will be tremendously helpful to me. Because I watch YouTube and I always, try to support people, and I think it's very important, especially when you begin. So I would greatly appreciate if you comment me where you're watching me from, and I'll know what time of the day it is, and like maybe what time you usually watch YouTube. Maybe there's a certain time you like or prefer. So yeah, that would be nice. I would like to know that, so we could chat more and get to know each other more. I'm an artist. This is my part-time job. I paint mostly seascapes and landscapes. I sometimes do flower studies because I do love flowers myself. But I specialize in seascapes. So, and I paint, as I said, as my part-time job. And then I sell my artwork online. I have my website, and then I have my Etsy and eBay shops, and I also sell some artwork at some online galleries. But yeah, I've been doing that for the past 4 years. It's been almost 4 years actually. And then I love this. This is my life. I love this. Makes me feel grounded, makes me feel calm. I love spending time kind of like, I shouldn't say alone. I don't like being alone. But what I'm trying to say is that I like spending time being alone with my thoughts. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just do some foam movement here too, because it's like a splash in here. Okay, then it curls down, touches the ground over here. I'm also squinting a little bit so I could see if it looks nice that I'm doing that. And then here it's like a bunch of foam crashing to the ground. All right. The other thing is, if my youngest son wakes up, I'm gonna have to stop the live stream and like come back tomorrow to finish it. So just FYI. Alright, so now I took my color shifters as we spoke, and I'm shifting the colors in to see the foam, like how it's gonna look, where I should place more, where I should place less. Alright, I think this I'm taking more of my foam color. Again, on the wave, we're also going to show reflection from the sky, because water picks it up the most. Okay, I'm going to have to get up a little bit. Yeah, water picks it up the most, and then all right, so getting more of this. Oops, too much, too big of a blob. So far, I'm not, as you can tell, like I'm not using much white. I still haven't decided what I'm gonna do here, but that's okay. I think we're just gonna go like up. All right, and then like in here, it's gonna keep on coming down, kind of. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. Also, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of the dark color and place it up underneath the foam so we see it. Yeah, just like that. Yep, perfect. Okay, as you could see, it's shifting the colors, so we could even see the canvas underneath, but that's okay. And in here I'm going to show some of the movement also, so the foam is not looking flat. I'm adding some dark to the foam itself, and I'm using like this pointy one, although I think I'm going to switch to like half flat, which is, yeah, I'm going to use this one like a little angled. And with that, I'm going to use some of my white to add dimension to the wave. But again, this white is like a dirty white. It's mixed with the color of the water, which is, I told you, blue, red, and yellow. Okay. I didn't know it's going to be this time consuming, but it takes a lot of details, and sometimes even when I'm done, I might just go back and finish it later. In this case, I want to just show you the main aspect, and I might touch it up tomorrow. Not sure yet, but just, all right, a little more white in here. Yep, just a bit more. It might look like it's a lot of blobs, but I like a little bit of texture, to be honest with you, so it doesn't look too flat. And then I'm not touching the curls yet, where curls, but I'll explain you why later, because remember, we're still gonna do the reflection. We can't put much in there, but what I'm going to show you too, a little trick, we're going to add a little darker in there, okay, to show the movement. All right. Oh, that's kind of busy wave. What do you think about it so far? Oh, so sorry about the noise. I live close to the road. Whoa, and sometimes people are just obnoxious. So don't pay attention. All right, here is a lot of foam happening, and I kind of like that mess in there. Also, here's a little bit of reflection I want to see. Yep, just like that. Perfect. We're gonna add, yes, we're gonna add that pinky, and we're gonna add that pinky to the splash, so it looks like a splash. And also that splash, remember, still has shadow in there, so we're adding a dots of water, like a depth of the water that I'm using. Okay, I'm shifting the color to see how to place I'm not sure if I'm crazy about it or not. It's okay, let's move over here. If I'm getting quiet, it means that I'm getting details done. Yeah, I think so. What's happening is here. I'm gonna have to go back to it when it dries a bit. And if I see something I want to touch up, I will. But for now, I'm gonna just leave it like this. Yep. Okay, here I'm gonna use the brush because I think brush will flip that better. Okay, we're gonna take, so what I see here is like, first of all, my horizon is crooked. Let's fix that real quick because I was sitting down and I didn't see much. Perfect. On the sides, I'm making it just a little bit darker. Let's go on this side. Perfect. All right, so sorry I got quiet because I was concentrating, thinking through the things. All right, so I'm just adding white highlights in here to make it more alive. All right, here I'm not sure if I want to leave it like that or if we should actually, you know what, let me open my my previous wave if I can do so. Okay, so I had it posted on Art Finder where I sold it. Okay, that's my kid's computer. You can tell. How do I find myself here? No, do not correct my name. Okay, let's see if it finds me actually. Yay, it did. All right, so, oh, that's not me. So let's click this one, let's say, and go to my artwork. No, I don't want that. Okay, right here. All right, so this painting. All right, perfect. Yeah, so see, it was formed just a slightly bit different. In this case, I have it definitely a different positioning here. So let's see what 1, 2, oops, 1, 2, and then I had a foam. Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm gonna lower this part of the foam down. There we go. that changes a lot in this composition. I was like, something is a little bit off, and I wasn't sure what. Okay, well, I'm not trying to copy exact same painting, but why bother if I can replicate a little bit similar scene that I already created. Okay, love it. And then here I had a shadow going on, right? Yep. With ultramarine. Oops, sorry if I shook my phone. Yep, perfect. That's what I like. And then see, that curl was a little bit bigger. Do I want that bigger? Do I not? So it's like right here. Should I do it that way? That's good. No, that's good enough. All right, and then just making sure. Yep. Perfect. Okay, so we created that, and then I had a curl over there. I just moved mine a little bit differently, but the same kind of idea. It's okay. We're gonna should I stretch this one? Should I not? Okay, this guy is crazy. Whoever's driving there. Whoa. He's doing the pops in the tunnel, because there's a tunnel nearby me. He's doing like a pops. All right, I'm gonna fix this a little bit. There we go. I don't like that movement over there. And then I'm gonna make that contrast a little bit. There we go. I like that. Perfect. Okay, that's good. Also, here's a bit contrast. There we go. Changes the whole. Can you see like how it changed the whole composition? I still have to check. Yeah, my horizon should be good. I'm looking now. I'm standing up, so it should be good. All right, perfect. Now, with that being said, I'm going to dip my brush into the white, and let's create this foam goodness here. A little more of that. I just play around basically to see what works, what doesn't. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be how I show it. I'm not saying that's the right way. I'm saying you have to know the basic rules and then apply them in your artwork. And I'm sharing that along with you. So, all right, I like that. And then right here, so it's kind of that splash that is happening. Yep, perfect. Oops, I don't like, I don't want to remove this gap. I'm going to leave it there. So I'm going to just place it back in there. Yeah. Now I need to mix that color again. It's like the 5th time. I don't like pre-mixing it ahead of time. I like mixing it as I go, because things change while I'm painting, and sometimes I just decide to add or change something in the composition. That's why I don't like to pre-mix much. I've done, oh my goodness, once I pre-mixed so much color, and I was gonna paint like a wave with just by using palette knife, and simply saying it did not work well. I was so upset, and that paint, I thought I'm gonna use it in something else, and I didn't, and I was just so upset about it. I wasted so much. I did use a little bit, but not like all of it, because it was a lot. All right, what I did just now, I increased the darkness of the shadow in this wave, and I'm just mixing it. Yeah, so now I like how I positioned it. Basically, now I'm gonna try to play around with the foam and create it as realistic as I can. All right, I can sit down for a bit. Okay. Marking my stones again. Perfect. All right, to distract myself, let's go back to this foam here. So the foam here basically will be a color of a water, a color of a sand a little bit, and then it's also gonna have a little bit of shadow in there, like that little. Perfect. And then perfect. Just moving it across so we see it all over. And then that foam that is in there, I'm gonna start sketching there. So then sorry about me checking my phone, if so it was on charge. There we go. I'm gonna just unplug it for now so it's not on my way. All right, so at this point, what we have left is reflection. We have foam highlights also. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place a little bit of that pink in the white mixture that I've had. Perfect. And let's finish this up because we're almost there. Okay, now just details left. So if I get a little bit quiet, excuse me. I'm trying to create it. Details. And that usually is the most sensitive part of the artwork. Details at the end. And, here I am covering the sides too. I just touched it. Okay. So, with that being said, I'm going back to my color shifters. And in this case scenario, what I need to do is I need to create that pinky yellow actually too. So that like orangey, it's a bit too much on that brush. Glow in the kind of those splashes. And here, just be careful because we're pushing the paint basically. We have to keep on wiping that brush constantly so we don't mix too much, because we want that to be authentic to what we're trying to create. Okay, here I think I'm gonna just add a little, just a little depth so we have more contrast. Just like that, by blending it too. Okay. And then right over here, yep. And then also I'm mixing some more white, which is, as we know, not pure white, but it's like an olive green at this point mixed with white. Let me get a new paper towel. Okay, I'm liking that more. Also, right here, we're gonna create little dark spots. All right, perfect. And then again, we're adding this little pink. And that pink is shifting down to the water a little bit. Yeah, so see, we're seeing the glow that is coming from there. All right. And let's work on this messy foam here. We're just gonna get some of the white, which is, you know, again, not pure white, but like lighter white. And move paint around and see what we can create. Something that can look decent. Yeah, just like that. I like it. Okay, so also adding some lighter white here. Also in here. Oops, too much right here. Okay. Also, we have to realize, like, and see where the bottom is. All right, I'm gonna just move this dark to play around with the shape of a wave. Yeah, so it doesn't look. So far I don't like it. Let me just see. Okay. Oh, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add a little bit of a foam right here, so it's like touching down. Sometimes actually when you paint on the smaller painting, it takes more time to do details than on the bigger. Because bigger, you're just like, you know, swoosh, swoosh, and done. But here, you're just gotta, you're kind of like moving around and try to find the right placement and whatsoever, which is time consuming. But I'm not rushing anywhere, so I'm just trying to, yes, just like that. See, the more contrast I create, the better it looks. Yeah, just like that. I like it. I like that it's playing along nicely. Okay, perfect. All right, let me, so as you see, I move. I don't stay in the same spot because your eyes get tired and then you start like doing nonsense. So I try to avoid that. At this point, I don't need the reference. I'm just playing with what I see. And I'm just going from there. Okay, just doing this side and then this side to make sure it looks decent. Okay, great. All right, also, I'm gonna kind of hold it. If you don't mind, you can probably, can you see well? Yeah, I think you can see pretty well. And then, so let's go back to the, actually, I do need the, I do need this a little bit tilted towards me so I could see. All right, almost there. Almost there. We're gonna need to move. Perfect. All right, now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna just keep on shifting and looking what I like and what I don't like, and adding a little bit depth, and then creating a, so it looks, yeah, so it looks like it's moving there, so it's not just staying. All right, and then over here I still kind of like want to move it closer to the other one so it doesn't look too separated. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna just leave it like that because I keep fussing around with it. sometimes it's hard to stop yourself, so you gotta just move on. Let me just add that little shadow in there. Just leave it alone because I keep fussing. I don't like it, obviously, but at this point I'm gonna, yeah, there we go. You just gotta stop on time sometimes, right? All right, let's see what else we can create with the foam. I like this so far. Okay, so at this point, as we could see on my previous one, I did create some of the, cool reflection and stuff. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna add some more of that, and then yes, just like that. So I'm using the color shifter too. Okay, perfect. I like it. Not much in here. Don't like it. No, doesn't need to be there. There we go. Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, let's work on this foam right here. I like how I had it before. I had a little bit of texture on it with like a ultramarine in there, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. We're gonna just create separation of the water, and then we'll add glowing moments, and then we'll be good to go. Also, let's add something to this rock over here because it's looks like it's wet. Let me just add ultramarine blue a little bit. This is my most used color probably. All right. Okay, so with that being said, now I'm gonna add some reflection onto the water up here, the foam, and yep, perfect. So it looks like it's glowing from the sky. We're not gonna do all over because it's not all over the it is not all over the whole front. We're gonna do just like that. Creating a little depth. And then I'm gonna spread it across over here. So it's looks like the water is moving over there too. And then the colors I'm mixing are colors of the water and colors of the, by adding a little blue and white. Yeah. Here I'm just going, you know, basically okay. Also, don't forget we have a shadow under the foam and the little places in there too. Little pink in there too, so the water is picking up the sky color. All right, so now all we have left is basically the foreground, and here I'm gonna just add a bunch of reflections. I'm gonna take red with yellow, basically my orange but darker color. Okay. Also, we're gonna add that to the rocks kind of randomly because they picking up the reflection from the sky too. Also, next we're gonna add dark pink, which is pink mixed with alizarin crimson. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. All right, that's that. We're gonna also add some of the purple in there to make it look like it's wet and the water is reflecting there too. All right, just like this. And then, yeah, pretty much. Same to the rocks, remember? Rocks are picking everything up too. They're color reflectors. And then shadow. I'm going to just increase a little bit of the shadow in here from the rocks so they're not looking like they're soaring in the sky. All right, perfect. And now, just like that, increasing the object placement of mine. All right. Also, now we have to go even lighter as I did on my previous picture. I'm gonna take actually I'm gonna need some of the yellow. So I'm gonna take yellow. I use Rembrandt paint most of my time, my favorite. It's my favorite paint. So I'm mixing yellow and red to add those kind of like glowing particles of the sand, increasing their okay. We're gonna also add it to the foam in the water, just a little bit. Perfect. And then as you can see, I'm mixing this color darker than the sky color because it's our reflection, and reflection is always, always, always darker. And then I'm gonna take some of the blue and move that around. Remember we had that green spot that I told you before over here. It's a shadow from the wave. Let's not forget to place that. And it's going to be darker than just a little spot over there. Yeah. Okay. We're just going to perfect. Okay. Let's see what else I want to add. We're almost there. Almost there. I'm gonna just add this glow over there. Just a little less intense. A little less intense, because that shouldn't be. Yeah, just like that. At the end is basically, details, how you feel about it. And that's it. That's all it is at the end, basically. Details and, some certain highlights or changes, or like right here, I don't like that it's sticking out too much. So I'm going to just use the ocean color and then use my watercolor to replicate what we've had before. All right, perfect. Let's go a little darker in there. See, it's like basically as much as I touch it, as much as I don't want to touch it, you're still gonna get yourself into kind of fixing it, touching it, and perfect, much better. And then you still have to fix it. Can't leave it like that, because you're almost done. All right, perfect. Let's add color shifters to our game right here. Today I'm painting without any music, which is weird. I didn't know what to turn, so I just let it be, and it's kind of too quiet, but it's okay. It's late in the night. All right, adding depth again. Oops, let me actually scoop this in out because it's not moving. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna reapply dark. Yes, just like that. Dark, and we're gonna reapply gonna reapply light parts of it too. Oh, I like that better actually. All right, well, let's reapply. I like that. Okay, and then, as we have pink here, I'm gonna just add a little bit in there. Okay. Yes, just like that. Perfect. Almost done. I'm just thinking. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just let it be, and I will check it out tomorrow, because I think when my eyes get tired, I don't see much to change for now, which is good. Yeah. Meaning like I feel like I have completed it. But when it sits for a little bit, I may go back to it and, add something. I'm not gonna change much, that's for sure. But I like when it sits just a little bit in front of my eyes, somewhere where I'll be seeing it. Okay, and then if I need to add tomorrow details, I will do so. But so far, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video and watched it at the end, till the end, give it a thumbs up so I know you've liked it and I should do more of this. And so I should do more live streams like that. And yeah, let me know. But so far, I'm gonna say have a good day, whatever you are. And I hope I'll see you next time. Bye.